jiu-jitsu affected every area of my life in a very positive way. So the hardest part about doing jiu-jitsu is walking through the front door for the very first time. It's terrifying. You feel like you're walking into like a courthouse or something. Like, oh man, they're gonna judge me. Because you don't have a full perspective of what's really gonna happen. You know, you've heard about it, you've seen it. And when I started jiu-jitsu, it wasn't like as constructive as it's talked about now. Like, I started jiu-jitsu when, you know, I got it from like, oh, UFC, and I just saw a bunch of, you know, MMA fighters, you know, that were just always just trying to beat each other up for money, or I'm the Ultimate Fighter or whatever. And so I went in with this attitude, it's like, all right, I want to do this. I want to learn self-defense. I want to compete. And it was nauseating walking through the door. It was terrifying. I'll never forget it. The first real school I went to was a judo school that had MMA and jiu-jitsu and striking. But I was really interested in all of it. So I walked in, I met Coach John Holm, and out of the office comes this 74-year-old man who walked with like a hunch like this. And he had glasses, and he's wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt. He walks up to me and he goes, "Hi, I'm John." I'm like, "Hey, I'm Shannon." I'm like shaking and heart beating. He was like, "You're here for judo?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here for judo and jiu-jitsu and everything." He's like, "All right, judo class is coming up first. Come with me." And he walks me in his office, and it's just a mess, dude. It's like this little room. It's probably like a third of the size of this room, and it's got shit everywhere. This computer that's from 1980s, I swear. This desk with just shit everywhere, papers stacked on papers, books, and this book on the wall of him, like from 40 years ago. He wrote a book, and it was great. I'm like, oh, what the hell am I doing? And then he has me fill out this paper, and then he's like, all right, come with me. And he gives me this gi, and I put it on. He's like, that'll be $60. I'm like, all right, no problem. Pay for the gi, and he's like, 5 people in this class. He's like, all right, let's go. We get on the mat, and he just started teaching me throws. Day one, having tossing people. And then I was there every day, 4 days a week, learning how to throw people. And then we also did, you know, in judo, they have like jiu-jitsu curriculum. It's a little different than Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but I really liked the jiu-jitsu portion of it. Like, we're on the ground and we're rolling around and doing stuff, and like I really like this, you know? Throwing people's fun, but it's just the same thing over and over and over. Boom, boom. It's tiring, it's a lot of work. And I really took a liking to the jiu-jitsu portion of it. And so my buddy Eddie, who was also from the jiu-jitsu, from the judo club, said, hey, man, why don't you just, you know, you should do jiu-jitsu. You should. I'm like, oh, I am. He's like, no, man, you need to go to this school. So he helped me by showing me another school to go to do jiu-jitsu. So I did, and I felt like, you know, I felt bad, like, oh man, like leaving Coach John, but no, why would he want to hold me back from bettering myself, right? And so I did, and that's when I met Eric. And started doing just jiu-jitsu. And a couple months into it, I remember Eric telling me, he's like, dude, you're gonna be really good at this, you're really good, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, oh, what? You're just saying that, you know? And so that helped. That recognition helped me stay with it. You know, it helped me stay with it. Because to me, what was important was competing. I wanted to compete, I wanted to win, I wanted to, you know, I wanted to be one of the best. And then I remember going up to Eric after a few months and said, hey, I was thinking about doing a competition. He was like, absolutely, you should. I was like, oh, wow, okay. You know, he was like, why not? He's like, do it. I was like, all right, cool. And then I did my very first competition. I had one guy in my division, one match, and I fought him twice. I beat him both times. I submitted him, and it felt so good. Over a year of training a martial art, and I was still terrible. I was so terrible. I still got that video. It's on one of the YouTube channels. of my very first fight in a ring, in a boxing ring, a jiu-jitsu match, in a boxing ring. Yeah, they made do with what they had. And I won. And it was the greatest feeling in the world. It was the greatest feeling in the world. And at one point in time, I thought that I would never even be able to do that. You know, I had given up on the idea of doing much. So I win that competition, I do another one, I win again. Then I do another one, a bigger one, and then I win again. Months go by, and he's like, well, Shanoosh, which is my nickname, he's like, I should probably give you a blue belt. And I was like, well, if you think I earned it, it's up to you, coach. And he's like, okay. I did the thing I didn't think I could do. It woke up, it woke up a being in me that I didn't know I had. You know, I was going to use some cliche words, but it decided it just made me realize that, shoot, man, if you don't go get something by doing what it takes to get it, people and life have other plans for you. And is that where you want to go? You can go through life just letting people and events pave the way for you. And then 20, 30 years will go by and you'll go, what the heck just happened? You know, what the heck just happened? If you don't go make what you want happen and ignore the people that have their opinions, then you won't do it. You won't do it. And I would rather be in a community that gives me constructive reassurance. Honestly though, I don't want anyone to lie to me. Oh, Shannon, you're great at this, you should do this, and I'm not. That's one thing I appreciate about Eric, is he would tell people, they asked, what do you think? He'd say, well, you're really good on your back and doing sweeps, but you suck at wrestling, so yeah, just stay on your back and do sweeps. There is no better knowledge than the truth. You know, why lie to someone and let them waste their time? You know, he found your strengths, he told you your strengths, go. So jiu-jitsu helped all aspects of life because it's not just something that you're doing that is healthy, exercise, self-defense, but you're doing it with other people. You're learning other people. You're learning yourself from other people too. Because you know, I can look at in the mirror at myself and just try to decipher every little thing I see. But when someone else looks at me, they see it different. You see what I'm saying? So when I started doing jiu-jitsu and a year into it, I realized, if I can do this, I can do anything I want within reason, you know? So I had already had my construction company I started before I started jiu-jitsu, but I was small. I was very, very new to running a construction business. I was scraping by. Luckily, my wife also held a job and helped me deal with the demons of trying to go through the early stages of running a construction company. You know, they say 5 years is the amount of time it takes to kill 90% of the businesses that started. What I mean by that is 10 people will open a business. Within 5 years, 9 of them will be gone. They will no longer be in business. And not just in a good way, like in debt, bankrupt, or whatever. I was in the early stages of my business and wanting to do jiu-jitsu, but the jiu-jitsu is what helped my business. You know what I mean? And the support and reassurance from my wife, my teammate, my soulmate, Sarai, who not only saved my life multiple times, but potentially sacrificed what she could have had any guy she wanted. She could have gone, she's beautiful, smart, loving. I don't even know what she was doing with me. She could have had any guy she wanted. She stayed with me. And then after my blue belt in 2013, something like that, maybe early 2014, 10 years ago roughly, I did a competition and I won. Did another competition, got second. Did another competition, lost, got cocky, tried something different. Got out of my comfort zone in there on the mat, you know, which is good. You know, and one of the gifts of jiu-jitsu practice is going and trying something and failing. The worst that happens is you tap out, or you realize like, hey, that's not something I'm good at, you know? Every black belt, you ask a black belt, what's your game? Oh, I do. They all know. They all know their game. And most people already know their game because they see them compete. They go, oh, this guy's a guard player. This guy's, you know, guard passer. You know, this guy, you know, he loves to choke. Or this guy likes the leg locks, right? So, Sarai, she, bless her heart, after a few years, said, you know what? I'm going to see what this jiu-jitsu thing is all about. And so she came and tried it out. And then she got more addicted to it than I did. And then she was helping teach the kids and everything. And I loved it. I was like, wow, my wife, you know, is not only like my, you know, my soulmate, my partner, my teammate, but now she's my jiu-jitsu buddy too, you know? And bless her heart, man. She fell in love with it, gave it a chance, and we both can attribute our success to jiu-jitsu, that's for sure. That's for sure. I wouldn't be here without it. And I'm not saying that everyone has to do jiu-jitsu to be anywhere. I know most people who do jiu-jitsu are very happy, healthy people.